Demon Claw TV proudly presents Rusty Dagger, The Adventures of Arzag the Slayer, Chapter 6, The Cult of Dagon. This adventure comes from a French site that I found that had a whole bunch of other Rusty Dagger adventures on them. Some have been translated backwards and forwards between English and French. Some of them are still in French. This one is in English, so it's easier for me to do. Although one of my friends who is good at French is slowly working his way through translating these adventures for me. So, Chapter 6, The Cult of Dagon. After recovering from multiple doses of spider venom in the last adventure, Arzag decides he's had enough of the jungle and sets off for the coast. He finally makes it to the coast and looks out at the vista of blue ocean stretching off into the horizon. Looks lovely, doesn't it? Don't worry, won't last. While camping on the beach, he is suddenly aware of the stench of rotting fish. 3 figures are approaching from further down the beach. Arzag is momentarily overcome with a wave of nausea due to the stench. He empties the contents of his stomach into the sand. Maybe it's some residual effects of all the venom triggered by the smell. Round 1. The disgusting figures move forward. They're all draped in seaweed and look generally horrible. Arzag shakes off the nausea and, enraged by his momentary weakness, activates primal rage. He charges the lead figure, trying to pin them between some rocks where their numbers will work against them. His first stab opens a wound in the lead figure, 15 to 8. It's a double 6. Good way to start the fight. The diseased zombie-like thing misses Arzag 5 to 7, and then the last of the 3 shambles further forward. Arzag lands a heavy blow on the lead zombie, 11 to 8. This zombie is wearing a long black cloak or coat, so it was probably an undertaker. The zombie misses Arzag 6 to 11, nonplussed that the zombie has more than 3 health. Arzag's next swing misses 8 to 10, going up to 10 to 10 with the primal rage reroll. A second zombie manages to flank Arzag but misses 5 to 6. Arzag winds up and swings on the undertaker zombie and misses 8 to 11, but then re-rolls into a hit. 12 to 11. Primal Rage finally doing some work. The last zombie moves in and Arzag just parries at the last second. 11 to 11. These zombies are dangerous. The lead zombie crumples into a puddle of stinking slime, leaking water everywhere. Arzag then uses heavy blow on the zombie in front of him. This misses 6 to 6, but the Primal Rage reroll changes it to a 13 to 6 hit. Where has this ability been all my life? The zombie misses 5 to 11. The other zombie claws Arzag 10 to 8. This cancels Primal Rage. Oh well, easy come, easy go. The third zombie activation misses 6 to 12. Arzag's next 2 attacks are ineffective at 9 to 10 and 9 to 9. These zombies are good at defense rolls. Round 4. The zombie misses 4 to 10. Arzag hits with a heavy blow, 6 to 5. It's terrible technique, but whatever, it works. Arzag then hits 13 to 10, taking the head off the second zombie. The last zombie misses 6 to 8. Arzag lands a heavy blow, 9 to 4. The last zombie strikes back, but misses 10 to 12. Arzag hits the zombie with a heavy blow, 12 to 8. The zombie gets its claws into Arzag, 10 to 8. Arzag heavy blows the zombie, 13 to 7, causing it to collapse into a puddle of slime, and that's all of them. So these drowned, waterlogged, swamp zombie horrors were spicier than I expected. I took 2 damage from the nausea, vomiting narrative challenge, and then 2 more from the combat. That's more than I've taken in total in some adventures. Arzag follows the tracks of the zombies back up the beach to see where they came from. He arrives at a coastal village. There are heaps of rotting fish everywhere and all the people seem to be hiding. At last the village leader staggers over and explains that the village is cursed and the only cure is available from a pool of water found in a cave up in the hills behind the village. They ask Arzag to go and get some of the water so the village can be cleansed. Not wanting to hang around near the village any longer than necessary in case the curse is something he can catch by association, Arzag heads off. Oh well, this is delightful. Arzag finds his way to the cave. Just past the entrance, he hears a faint click and hurls himself partially out of the way of a block of stone that crashes to the floor and seals the entrance. He takes 2 damage. What is this with failing all the narrative challenges? I'm not Raskin the reptile. Suspecting a trap? Arzag limps down the corridor and into a cave that's been carved into a temple. The carvings feel weird, inhuman creatures with lots of tentacles and not much mercy. A voice calls out from the other end of the temple. The village elder promised us a strong man tonight, and he has delivered. Collect the sacrifice, my brethren. Take him to the altar stone. Crap. Another human sacrifice cult. Why are they never therapeutic massage cults? Arzag mentally promises the village chief something sharp. Arzag is assuming that the head priest is some sort of sorcerer or wizard. A cultist moves up to get at Arzag hiding behind the pillar, but misses. 5 to 11. This is great. Now Arzag can use heavy blow, promptly rolls a double 6. That's an automatic success. What's more, those 2 wounds are all the cultist has, and it collapses. Excellent. Well done. And that's the second combat in a row we've started off with a double 6. Another cultist moves up. They might be a bit rubbish, but they have plenty of zeal. Arzag sneaks down to the other pillar. A cultist was just sneaking around the other way of the... And Arzag just twists out of the way at the last second and missing the cultist's sword thrust, 11 to 13. The cultist then misses again, 6 to 8. Arzag heavy blows the cultist 11 to 4. The cultist drops in a heap and the high priest yells some inspirational words. Get the sacrifice, you fools. I mean, leadership in action, right? Arzag moves to the pillar at the top. The cultist moves up and Arzag slides around the pillar and stabs another cultist, 10 to 8. Right, Arzag stabs the cultist with the book and moves back behind the pillar. Arzag moves down and then leaps out from behind the pillar, stabbing the cultist 10 to 8. That wasn't a heavy blow because I had to move first, so that cultist has still got 1 health left. It's trying to bonk me with its, staff of office, I guess. Right. The cultist misses 8 to 9. Another cultist moves up. The cultist was a sorcerer and zaps Arzag 12 to 7 with a blast of energy. Ow. Arzag, Arzag then stabs the cultist 13 to 3, moves into contact with the last cultist. Arzag then mighty blows the last cultist. The high priest misses as Arzag dodges out of the way. In return, Arzag charges the high priest and stabs 10 to 3. Does a sword in your body impede your magic? Arzag misses the wizard, 9 to 11. Arzag parries the wizard's attack, 7 to 7. Is that all you got? The wizard then bonks Arzag with his staff, 11 to 7. Ouch. Arzag heavy blows the wizard and hits, 11 to 8. The wizard hits Arzag, 12 to 9. Double ouch. Barbarian fools, the gods will have their sacrifice after all. Arzag then heavy blows the wizard, 12 to 7. The wizard's now down to 1 health. And there we go. The priest misses. Used Grok to help make some images that somewhat match the narrative events that are going on. The dying priest slumps over a lever sticking out of the wall and sluices open, allowing water to pour into the temple cave. The gods will come and collect their sacrifices. A real Hell's Heart stab at the death scene. Oh goody, a self-destruct option. Looking around, Arzag sees a pool at the back of the room, reasoning that it must be part of an underground river or lake, and he dives in. On his way out, he grabs some treasure worth 5 wealth. After swimming underwater for what seems like ages, Arzag makes it back to the surface near a small lake, passing the brawn check with an 11 against a target score of 9. Now that's more like it. Dragging himself from the water, Arzag takes stock of his surroundings. There are some supplies that look like they have come from wrecked ships or other people's stuff that's been looted. All right. Well, coming back from relieving himself behind a bush, I mean, what else do you make from this deployment? He finds his makeshift camp invaded by several tentacle monstrosities that match the carvings from the temple. These must be their demon gods coming to collect their sacrifices. Well, they can choke on my steel. Arzag activates Primal Rage. The largest beast moves closer. Fortunately, it's slow. 2 of the smaller tentacle beasts move over. Arzag then moves forward and stabs the first beast, 12 to 8. The tentacle spawn flails ineffectually, missing 5 to 10. Arzag then dispatches the creature with a heavy blow. Arzag then moves around the boxes to engage the tentacle beast from the side. This puts it between Arzag and the other creatures. He hits 13 to 10. The big beast moves up but can't get in position to attack. Arzag then strikes the smaller one with a heavy blow, hitting 14 to 10, finishing the second tentacle beast off. The last smaller beast moves up. Round 3. The large beast moves up and hits 12 to 7. There goes my Iron Skin potion. Arzag hits back with a series of heavy blows to try and finish the large beast. The first attack is a hit, 14 to 11. After the Primal Rage reroll, the second attack hits, 9 to 7 after a reroll. The third misses, 11 to 12 after a reroll, close but no cigar. The last smaller beast moves in and strikes 9 to 8, which is blocked by the Iron Skin potion. It then gets the last activation and hits 13 to 7. Ow, Arzag takes another point of damage, and there goes Primal Rage. Arzag heavy blows the large beast, 13 to 6 and 11 to 8. Chopped into bits, the large beast collapses. The last tentacle spawn, enraged at the loss of its larger cousin, promptly misses 3 times, 9 to 10, 9 to 13, and 4 to 8, interspersed with a miss from Arzag, 11 to 12. Lots of flailing and not much there. Right, time to get this done. The beast hits 11 to 9 and then misses 5 to 9. Arzag hits with a heavy blow, 12 to 5, and then stabs the beast, 8 to 4 to finish it off. Those creatures were quite revolting. At this point, Arzag is at half health with 7 remaining. That's way more damage than he has taken before. He got 5 gold and 1 skill point for that adventure. That's the second adventure with not much return on investment. He's starting to regret all of that, you know, giving Jill 20 wealth in the good old days. Arzag loots the contents of the boxes from the ship and forswears eating fish, at least until Friday. Although maybe some fried calamari? The description in the module implies that the smaller tentacle beasts are part of a larger creature, kind of like a sarlacc, or maybe the Watcher in the Pool at in the Lord of the Rings. But it doesn't say what happens if you kill the large maw and there's still tentacles going. Maybe it's some kind of symbiotic life form where each limb has its own independent life and brain, like some kind of giant octopus. To suit my figure collection, I made them all separate beasts. Yeah, here's Arzag looking pretty keen to get off this coast. So we'll see what's happens to him later.